If you've ever stared at a patch of garden soil and wondered why some beds flourish while others languish, you're not alone. As gardeners, we constantly hunt for that elusive secret ingredient that transforms lackluster dirt into vibrant, life-filled soil. What if I told you that the secret isn't in a fancy fertilizer or exotic supplement, but something you likely already have sitting in your kitchen pantry? Today on Soil Sage Chronicles, we're diving deep into a fascinating 7-day garden test. Cornmeal versus crushed rice as soil amendments. Both of these humble staples have the power to revolutionize your soil, but they work in different ways. By the end of this guide, you'll understand not just how they function, but when to use them and how to get the best results for your unique garden. Before we get into the specifics of cornmeal and crushed rice, it's important to understand why they even matter. Great soil isn't just dirt, it's a bustling ecosystem filled with bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and other microscopic organisms that break down organic matter, cycle nutrients, and protect plants from disease. Think of these organisms as the hidden workforce of your garden. If they're healthy and abundant, your plants will thrive. If they're struggling, even the best watering and sunlight can't save your garden. That's where soil amendments like cornmeal and crushed rice come in. They feed these microbes, stimulate beneficial fungi, and create the conditions for a resilient, thriving garden. Cornmeal isn't just for cornbread or polenta, it's a microbial superfood for your garden. When incorporated into soil, cornmeal acts as a slow-release feast for beneficial bacteria and fungi, especially the all-important Trichoderma species. These fungi are nature's own protectors, suppressing harmful pathogens like root rot and damping off diseases. Cornmeal is rich in carbohydrates and proteins, with a carbon-to-nitrogen ratio around 20:1. This balance makes it an ideal food source for soil microbes, fueling their growth and activity. In practical terms, adding cornmeal to your soil helps speed up the breakdown of organic matter, making nutrients more readily available to your plants. From my own experience, running the Soil Sage Chronicles garden experiments, cornmeal is particularly effective in vegetable beds and seed starting areas. I noticed within a week that seedlings in cornmeal-amended soil looked perkier and had stronger roots compared to control plots. Over time, repeated applications can also improve soil structure and reduce fungal disease pressure. Cornmeal is straightforward to use. For small garden beds, 2 cups per 10 square feet work perfectly for me. Just sprinkle it evenly and lightly work it into the top few inches of soil. For larger areas, 1 pound per 100 square feet is a good guideline. If cornmeal is the fast-acting nutrient booster, crushed rice is the long-term soil builder. Rice, whether white, brown, or broken, is high in carbon, with a carbon-to-nitrogen ratio ranging from 40:1 to 60:1 depending on the type. This makes it an excellent fuel source for fungal networks, which are critical for creating resilient, water-retentive, and nutrient-rich soil. Unlike cornmeal, crushed rice decomposes slowly. This slower breakdown supports gradual soil improvements rather than immediate nutrient availability. I like to think of it as investing in the future of your garden. It's like planting the seeds of soil health itself. Over time, rice releases silicon, manganese, phosphorus, and B vitamins, all of which enhance plant growth and fortify soil structure. From my 7-day garden test, crushed rice doesn't show dramatic visual results immediately like cornmeal, but its impact becomes clear after a few weeks. Soil treated with crushed rice becomes fluffier, more crumbly, and better able to retain moisture, which is especially helpful in drought-prone gardens. The microbial activity also becomes more diverse, creating a richer ecosystem for plants. Application is simple. Mix 1 to 2 pounds of crushed rice per 100 square feet into the top 4 to 6 inches of soil. Start small, especially if your soil is already rich in organic matter, to avoid temporarily tying up nitrogen as microbes work on breaking down the extra carbon. Cornmeal versus crushed rice, the 7-day garden test. Here's where things get interesting. I ran a small-scale 7-day test in my Soil Sage Chronicles garden to see which amendment shows results faster. I set up 3 plots, 1 with cornmeal, 1 with crushed rice, and 1 control plot with no amendments. By day 3, seedlings in the cornmeal plot looked visibly healthier, with greener leaves and more vigorous growth. Microbial activity was already increasing, as evidenced by the smell and texture of the soil, rich, earthy, and alive. The crushed rice plot, on the other hand, didn't show immediate visual growth changes, but by day 7 the soil texture was noticeably improved. It was looser, more friable, and retained moisture better than the control plot. Microbial diversity also seemed higher when I took small soil samples to examine under a microscope. So, the takeaway? Cornmeal is the fast-acting amendment, ideal for a quick boost in microbial activity and disease suppression, while crushed rice is the slow-building hero that strengthens soil over the long term. Using both strategically can give you the best of both worlds. When to use cornmeal. Cornmeal is especially useful in these scenarios. First, seed starting. Cornmeal helps protect delicate seedlings from damping off diseases and gives them a strong start. Second, vegetable beds. If your garden experiences recurring fungal issues, cornmeal can help tilt the microbial balance in favor of beneficial organisms. Third, quick soil boost. When you need your soil biology to ramp up quickly, cornmeal acts as an immediate energy source for bacteria and fungi. For gardeners like me who enjoy experimenting, I often alternate cornmeal applications with crushed rice to keep both immediate and long-term soil goals in mind. When to use crushed rice. Crushed rice shines in situations that require long-term soil development. First, soil building projects, ideal for improving structure, drainage, and moisture retention in the garden over time. Second, fungal support. Fungal networks thrive on carbon-rich amendments, helping plants access nutrients and resist stress. Third, nutrient enrichment. As crushed rice decomposes, it slowly releases micronutrients that benefit plants over the growing season. If you're working with heavy clay soil or want to improve a tired garden bed, crushed rice is a fantastic addition. It's also a great way to recycle leftover rice that's no longer fit for cooking, making it an eco-friendly amendment. One of the most exciting discoveries from my Soil Sage Chronicles experiments is that, honestly, you don't have to choose. By thoughtfully combining cornmeal and crushed rice, you can create soil that is both immediately energized and sustainably healthy. For example, I like to sprinkle cornmeal around young seedlings to give them a strong microbial boost, then incorporate crushed rice into the surrounding soil to strengthen the overall ecosystem. Over time, this approach creates soil that supports faster growth, improved plant resilience, and reduced disease pressure. There are a few practical lessons I've learned from working with these amendments that I want to share. First, start small, especially with crushed rice. Begin with lower application rates to avoid temporarily depleting nitrogen. Next, observe and adjust. Take notes on how your plants respond because soil biology really does vary by garden, so experimentation is key. Also, mix thoroughly. Both cornmeal and crushed rice work best when incorporated into the top few inches of soil. And, finally, rotate or combine. Using both amendments in rotation or combination honestly maximizes benefits. These small adjustments can make a big difference. Gardening isn't just about throwing amendments into the soil, it's about understanding your ecosystem and supporting it intelligently. So, which amendment wins? The honest answer is both do, but for different reasons. Cornmeal gives you quick results, disease suppression, and a boost for vegetable production. Crushed rice builds soil resilience, improves structure, and supports microbial diversity over time. By combining these amendments thoughtfully, you can accelerate soil transformation and create a thriving garden ecosystem. Remember, great soil is the foundation of every successful garden. Feed it, nurture it, and it will reward you with healthier, more productive plants. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into cornmeal and crushed rice, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Sage Chronicles for more experiments, tips, and soil building secrets that really work. Share this article with fellow gardeners ready to unlock their soil's true potential, and join our community of growers who understand that living, thriving soil is the key to a flourishing garden. Happy gardening, and here's to creating super soil that produces super results.